Hi everyone, welcome to yet another session of Love Thy RCs. This is a series that I call RC100 or Love Thy RCs, and in this series I try to give you various RCs from various genre related to various topics, various points, and I try to give you different types of questions just so that your brain gets that flexibility around various questions. ठीक है? बहुत बार various use कर लिया मैंने. Now let's move on to the session. So welcome once again everybody, and I'm super excited about this particular episode. Why? Because this is on a passage taken from CAT 2001 or something, 2001 or 2. It was on Darsu Uzala. I hope I got the name correct. DERSU UZALA. I remember long back when I had taught this passage, like, some 10 years back or something. Then we used to teach passages from 2001 and 5 and 6 and 8 and all. So I remember when I was teaching this passage, then I had done some research on this particular guy, Darsu Uzala. So tab pata chala tha ki he was a real character and he was a Siberian hunter. So Siberia, the coldest place. So Siberian hunter tha, and he was pretty experienced. His life gyan, insights and all were recorded by a particular explorer, कोई Russian explorer था, Arseniev या कुछ. तो ये जो कहानी है ना, ये passage, this is about both these people, Darsu Uzala and the person who documented his gyan. Okay. So I have taken this passage from CAT 2001, जब कभी है ये, and I have given a fresh set of questions. Okay. और हाँ, दरसू उजाला का क्या था, like main theme क्या था, because I have done some reading on him. So his main thing was how humans connect with nature. There is a bond between humans and nature, and humans should respect nature. ऐसा. So nature is going to respect us in return. Okay. Now, objective of the session remains the same. Many of you have done various episodes with me, so you know. I always keep ranting about these things. What are these? You have to understand the main idea, guys. Without that, solving a passage is like kind of shooting arrows in the dark. You have to map the passage. You have to see the connection between the various paras. First para, second para, how are they connected? Second para, third para, how are they connected? Then we have locate important zones. So while reading a passage, you should be able to identify the important question pockets. कहीं पे paradox है, कहीं पे irony है, कहीं पे however या but है. The result of an experiment, ये सब चीजें जो होती है ना, these are like generally question pockets. The first para is a question pocket. The last 3 lines of the passage is a question pocket. Okay. Then pin the type of questions. You should be able to understand what the question is asking you. That has to happen like lightning fast. Okay, lightning fast bole to really I mean it, lightning fast, ekdam in the blink of an eye. You have to understand what the question is asking you, so you can relate. You can go back to the corresponding paragraph and look for the answer. Last but not the least, elimination techniques. These are like Brahmastra, POE, प्यार से कहती हूँ मैं इनको, process of elimination. Now, हाँ 2001 का है. As you can see, the questions are all new. एक second रुकना, मैं ना चार्जर लगा लूँ. Otherwise, it generally happens with me. I start a session, I don't plug my laptop in, and then somewhere in the middle of the session, it conks off. हाँ, अभी set है. Okay, so what is this passage all about? I have already explained Darsu Uzala wala. So the narrative of Darsu Uzala is divided into 2 major sections set in this. Okay. Arseniev, ये वो बंदा है, the person who recorded his insights. Anyway, so पहले हम passage को ऐसे देखते हैं, like, just a glance. It has a lot of data I can see. Then what? Oh my goodness, this is a big paragraph. मर ही ना जाऊं मैं इसमें. Okay. 4th paragraph, again big. Okay, इतना ही है. So this must be about 600 words. Back then, Cat used to give 600, 700 words, and now, over the last 2-3 years, Cat has again started giving about 600 words. So you have to know how to handle a long passage. Now I go over to the questions first. Which of the following best captures the symbolic function of Darsu's grave in the prologue of the film? Very specific. We understand that there is Darsu's grave. He has died. And prologue of the film, probably there is a film that is being discussed. So in the beginning of the film, there is some kind of a shot that goes to Darsu's grave. Okay, so symbolic function kya hai? Specific hai. We have to go and look for it. The passage suggests that although Darsu dies in the film, the narrative structure attempts to immortalize him, resolves this apparent paradox. So he dies. On the one hand, he dies. Okay. On the other hand, he is being immortalized by the film, by the narrative structure. Why this paradox? What is it? So we have to just go and look for this. Ye wala attempts to immortalize him, and we have to do a little bit of reading and then come back and infer. What can be inferred about Kurosawa's jo banda jo somebody Kurosawa Ariki Pariki somebody jo bhi tha na, Russian traveler. Kurosawa's depiction of Kurosawa is another person. Arseniev is that person who recorded. Abhi pata chal jayega kitne characters hain. Kurosawa's depiction of Arseniev in contrast to the soldiers. Ye to super specific hai. Soldiers ek aadhi jagah to mentioned hoga. You need to go there and look for it, right? Which of the following statements is not true? Not true bole to one true, and then the others are not true. Sorry, गड़बड़ किया मैंने, इसलिए मैं लिख लेती हूँ, पता है, rough sheet पे. Otherwise it happens with me. I go back to the passage and then I forget कि ये पूछ क्या रहा था. So it's like, which of the following is not true, false, true, true, true. So you're going to look for one with a trap. 4 questions. Okay. Now, even if you don't read the entire passage, you can just check the main idea, the flow, and then you can take the questions and go back and look. ठीक है, कहाँ पे क्या है वो देख लेना है आपको. I'll show you how to handle such a passage. The narrative of Darsu Uzala is divided into 2 major sections. He is the hero, we understand, set in this and this at a gap of 5 years that deal with separate expeditions. Expeditions कैसे? Which Arseniev conducts into the Ussuri region. कोई Arseniev है? Okay. In addition, a third time frame forms a prologue to the film. Third one. Each of the temporal frames has a different focus, and by shifting them, Kurosawa is able to describe the encroachment of settlements. Okay. Kurosawa is the third person. Darsu Uzala is 1. Arseniev conducts into the Ussuri region, so he is number 2, and Kurosawa is 3. Has a different focus, and by shifting them, Kurosawa is able to this. Okay. As the film opens, that erosion has already begun. Do not try to understand each and everything that has been mentioned here. You have to understand the main idea, the flow. Ye zyada zaruri hai. So, consequent erosion of Darsu's way of life. As the film opens, I remember there's a question. That erosion has already begun. The first image is a long shot of a huge forest and trees piled upon one another, cutting off forests by the effects of the telephoto lens, so that the landscape becomes an abstraction, okay, curtain of green. A title informs us that in the year the year is 1910, okay. This is as late, okay, will go after this prologue. So this is the prologue. The events of the film will transpire even further back, okay, Arseniev जो भी बंदा है उसका recollections. The character इसके बारे में है, is the heart of the film, his life, the example that Kurosawa finished. You do not get confused that Arseniev is the same person as Kurosawa, because here they have given given the names at 2 different places, right? So somebody is probably making the film. He is Kurosawa. This is what I can understand. And the film features 2 people. One is Darsu and the other is Arseniev. Arseniev is doing this investigation into Darsu's life. Investigation is a wrong word here. He's trying to get insights from Darsu's life. Okay, so this is what I can understand from this para. After reading the first para, you can pause for 5 or 6 seconds and then try to sum it up, whatever has been said there. Okay, done. Chaliye, I'll take you over to the next para now. Yet the formal organization works to contain, okay, erecting, all right. Formal organization of the film. That was the prologue. This is the formal organization of the film, how it proceeds. I am not going to read this, but I'm going to definitely skim and mark the words. Circular, okay, ceiling, all right, Kurosawa, जो भी था, multiple frames, okay. 1910 example, contamination, okay, all right. I don't know what nonsense he's talking. As a student, you know, I wouldn't be able to understand so much. Which enclosed Darsu in a kind of vacuum chamber, all right, acha. Now, the last two lines, because it's a big para. Whenever it's a big para, I go down to the last two lines and see how the author is concluding it. So he says here, first two lines to clear hai, the organization of the film. Here he says, within the film, Darsu does die. But the narrative structure attempts to immortalize him and his example as Darsu passes from history into myth. There is a question connected to this. तब आएंगे तब देख लेंगे. So for this para, I shouldn't take more than 30 seconds. 30 भी नहीं होगा, 20 seconds में you can just skim through this. Now this, I have to tell you something important here. You may think that this is a huge paragraph, so कुछ तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा. See, those students who can read very well are welcome to go ahead and read it. Even I can just move through this paragraph at a breakneck speed. But that's because I'm supposed to be doing that, you know. I'm the educator, I'm supposed to be comfortable in RCs, तो मेरे से हो जाएगा. But not every बच्चा can do it. That's why I keep giving you these insights. So when I come to this paragraph as a student, like as you, I would not read this. Because इसको पढ़ने में तो 2 मिनट ऐसे ही लग जाएंगे. फिर कैसे होगा questions? Okay, how much will I read? We see all this at work in the enormously evocative prologue. फिर prologue पे चला गया. Prologue is the beginning of something, a book or movie. Enormously evocative prologue. अभी तो formal organization of film पे आया था, then he goes back to the prologue. What is it? Felled trees. पहला पैरा में I came across that na, and I said that there is like he's talking about the trees. ये है ना? Film opens, trees piled upon one another by the effects of this, so that the landscape becomes this. Same चीज को उसने यहाँ बोला है. Tilts down to reveal felled trees littering the landscape, abundance of construction. Okay, common sense बता रहा है कि this is talking of urbanization, for which trees are being felled. We are harming nature. Roads and houses, okay. Finished. Looking for a grave. Darsu Uzala ka grave hoga. Question says that. I skim now. Temporal rupture, industrial society, forest, okay. It is his grave. Explorer searches, okay. They are all gone. Trees, they are all gone. Oh, okay. Chopped down. Settlement. A key point he is repeating in different ways. मत पढ़ो इतना. Arsenev walks to the Baron. पता है वो जो scene है Arsenev वहीं तो जाएगा, right? And then as he moves, okay, distant train whistle, pauses, looks around for the grave. Okay, Darsu, the image now cuts further. तो पता चल रहा है कि इस पूरी movie में Darsu is dead. Still he is the hero. The picture is about him. The movie is about him. And Arsenev is the person who goes to this person Darsu's grave. And then the entire story is kind of revolving around him. Right? Kurosawa defines the world of the film initially upon a void, a missing presence. Samajh mein aa raha, he's the director. Okay. The grave is gone. Modernism, dekh rahe ho, main point pe aa gaya. World rushing into modernism. Hunter exists only in his memories. Hunter, Darsu Uzala. How do I know? Because यहाँ बोला आर्सेनेव के मेमोरीज में, तो कुरोसावा थोड़ी होगा उसके मेमोरीज में. दरसू ही तो तीसरा बंदा है ना जो हीरो है. The hallucinatory dreams and visions, एक और नया नाम नोट कर लो, ठीक है? Succeeded, okay, celebrates, timeless, हाँ, okay. In this passage, the main idea is here. Why is the author writing the passage? To show how the film celebrates the timelessness of Darsu's wisdom. First section has two purposes. Okay, same पहला पैरा का बता रहा है. Darsu, how he lives. अब Darsu के life के बारे में दिखा रहा है. When Darsu first appears, the other soldiers treat him, oh, but he's dead in the movie. How come he's giving this? I go back one line. The first section of the film has two purposes: to describe the magnificence and inhuman vastness of nature, and to delineate the code of ethics by which Darsu lives and which permits him to survive in these conditions. So probably flashback hai. When Darsu first appears, the other soldiers, question hai, soldiers or Darsu wala. I'll come back. Mat padho abhi. You will forget by the time you go to the question. In camp, okay. So this para gives you a little about Darsu's life. Right? When they sleep or joke, okay. Now, the last two lines here. This is the last para. Yes, this is the last para. So, last 4 lines are important. This is a big para, so you don't need to read the whole of it. Had it been a short one, you could have read the whole of it. But then, this is a big one, so I skimmed all this portion. I saw that here he's talking about grave and jo kuch bhi. But now I go down to the last 4 lines. Soldiers, voldiers wala dekh liya. While they sleep or joke among themselves, he writes in his diary. Darsu. Kurosawa cuts in, okay, cuts in bole to confirm he's the director. Sinister, okay. This reflective dimension, his ability to reflect, this sensitivity to the spirituality of nature, Darsu respected nature, distinguishes him from the others and forms the basis of his receptivity to Darsu and their friendship. No, so this is not Darsu. This he's talking about Arsenev. You got it? अभी तक हमें लगा he's talking about Darsu, but no. यहाँ frames Arsenev by himself. Arsenev was sitting and writing, and reflective dimension, this distinguishes him from the others, and this, his receptivity to Darsu, he was able to understand Darsu's points and their friendship. It makes him a fit pupil for the hunter. The hunter was Darsu. अब तक समझ में आ गया है? That's it. For this passage, you really and truly do not need more than 90 seconds. Why? Because 30 seconds for the first para. That will give you a little bit of the main thing. And then the second, third paras have to be just skimmed. ये last para में मैंने देख लिया कि अच्छा क्या बोल रहा है. The main idea is kind of here. Okay. So you have to improve your skimming process. Maybe it doesn't work for you. Then don't do it. You want to spend time, 3 minutes, you read it and then go to the questions. You should get accuracy. Whether you skim the passage or you read it word for word, it's up to you. This is my method, and this actually helps students save time. Students love this method, so I keep giving this, to you all. But again, it depends on what you like. Okay, so I have shown you how to handle the passage. Overall, if I see, hero is Darsu. Main idea is what Darsu and his connection with nature and Darsu's wisdom. The film celebrates the timelessness of Darsu's wisdom. Who was doing this? Who was looking into all this? Arsenev. Who is the producer-director? Not producer-director, Kurosawa jo bhi. And pure mein he has given various things. His grave, how this person, other soldiers treat him with this. Arsenev watches him closely and does not share, okay. So ye sab diya hua hai. Now, there is one point that comes to me here. Arsenev watches him closely. And now Arsenev has come where Darsu's grave is there and everything is modernized. So I understand in a jiffy that Arsenev earlier had observed Darsu when he was with the other soldiers. And now Arsenev has come back to look for the hunter, but the hunter is no longer there and there is modernization. Grave bhi hat raha hai uska. Now you will ask me, ma'am, how did you know all this with so less reading? So jawab yahan pe ye hai ki you have to improve your reading process. Once you improve your reading process, you will see the familiarity, you will see the pattern, and you will be able to take in information very easily. हो गया? Retention बढ़ जाता है उससे. Now, let's go over to the questions. We can start with this because this is specific. Right, but my suggestion here is, which of the following resolves paradox? No. Contrast to the soldiers. I would love to start with this. Why? Because soldiers wala to exactly pata hai kahan hai last para. So let's start with this. This is the third question. What can be inferred about Kurosawa's depiction of Arseniev in contrast to the soldiers? Remember the last 4 lines where he talked about Arseniev being reflective and different from the soldiers and all. We have to go there. Okay, एक बार पहले देख लेते हैं. Unlike them, he is capable of immediately grasping Darsu's qualities. Frames Arseniev sitting there while they sleep or joke like normal human beings. He writes and okay, perspective of trees, okay, this reflective dimension, reflective ability of Arseniev, sensitivity distinguishes him from others, makes him stand out from the crowd, right? Receptivity to this and makes him a fit pupil for the hunter. Let's go down and eliminate. We have to just infer. That's it. Kurosawa depicts Arseniev as more emotionally vulnerable than the soldiers, which allows him to mourn Darsu's death more deeply. Okay, I'll keep this, but यहाँ दिख रहा है मुझे more emotionally vulnerable than the soldiers. यहाँ compare किया है and वहाँ दिखाया है कि he was reflective and जो भी compared to the soldiers, but then more emotionally vulnerable. I'm not sure about this, फिर भी रखते हैं इसको. Unlike the other soldiers, Arseniev represents the modern rational mind that ultimately fails to protect the past. Represents the modern rational mind. Was he called logical by the author? No. He was more reflective. He could understand the spirituality and he could understand Darsu's perspective, which the others could not. They made fun of Darsu, right? So modern rational mind that ultimately fails to protect the past, bakwas. Arseniev is portrayed as an outsider among his men, which isolates him from military life but aligns him with the natural world. Outsider among his men. Kurosawa's depiction of Arseniev in contrast to the soldiers. Was this the feature, was this the characteristic that set him apart from the soldiers? He is portrayed as an outsider among his men. Were they his men? No. Which isolates him from military life. It doesn't. He was there with them, but then, he used to sit away and reflect. But aligns him with the natural world. Let's see what 4 says. Arseniev's attentiveness to the natural world sets him apart from the others and allows him to appreciate. Don't you think this is given there? So even if you're left with A and D, this has better words. This connects exactly with that portion. This is a rephrasing of that line. Attentiveness to the natural world and appreciate Darsu's rare qualities. I'll show you here. Yeah. This sensitivity to the spirituality of nature, that's the first part of your option, forms the basis of his receptivity to Darsu and his friendship. He is able to understand what Darsu's insights were. So D is your best answer. Right? Okay. Now I'll take you over to question 4. So, which of the following statements is not true? No, but this is true, false. I'll come to this later. True, false, I generally keep for later. Okay. Now, paradox, is pe bhi baad mein aayenge. Let's go to this grave thing. Oh, number 2. Which of the following best captures the symbolic function of Darsu's grave in the prologue? Now, I know one thing, guys, that the prologue wala thing is a big para. ये देख रहे हो आप, ये evocative prologue. ऐसा prologue जो आपके अंदर भावनाएं जगाता है. Now, do you think it makes sense for me to read this para again, then go, then again come and hunt? नहीं कर सकती हूँ मैं. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to sneak peek at the options. It stands as a literal reminder of a man who once lived and perished in the forested wilderness. Okay, literal reminder. Grave जो है. It represents the tragic death of all individuals who resist industrialization. Okay, I can put a red flag and eliminate it. It symbolizes the erasure of a way of life by the encroachment of industrial progress. I'll keep this and this. It foreshadows the transformation of Arseniev himself as he moves from memory to myth. Now, do you see option D, how it distorts things? I mean, देखो, I'll show you here. It foreshadows the transformation of Arseniev himself. Is the grave depicting Arseniev's transformation? No. The grave was there, but the grave is now being removed. Why? Because modernization is happening, urbanization is happening. So transformation of Arseniev himself as he moves from memory to myth. I'll take you back to this. Even if memory to myth is given somewhere, I remember it was given somewhere, you know, memory to myth, that's just a phrase taken and connected here and there. So this is what we call distortion, when you take various phrases and just connect them for the sake of connecting. Okay, now let's check the prologue thing. Camera tilts down to reveal this. The trees were felled. Kurosawa cuts to a medium shot of Arseniev, looking uncomfortable and disoriented. A man passing in a wagon asks him, "Kya kar rahe ho?" Explorer says, "Looking for a grave." Arseniev knows that Darsu is no more. The driver replies that no one has died here. The settlement is too recent. अभी अभी तो लोग यहाँ आके रहने लगे हैं. Grave क्यों मिलेगा? Nobody has died here. The driver replies that no one, okay, these words enunciate the temporal rupture, break, that the film studies. It is the beginning of things, industrial society, end of things, the forest, the commencement, okay, and the grave in which Darsu had died. It is his grave for which the explorer searches, but he is not able to find it. His passing, matlab his dying, symbolizes the new order. Do you see this? The new order, the development, the urbanization, the development that now surrounds him. That's it, finished. So symbolic meaning pucha hai, symbolic function. It symbolizes how the world is moving on, how the cemetery or the grave was removed. I don't know, entire cemetery tha ki nahi. So how it was removed and now how settlements are there. So it symbolizes the erasure of a way of life, encroachment of industrial progress. This is good. So this is distortion, I told you. It stands as a literal reminder of a man who once lived and perished in the forested wilderness. This is not symbolic. This is literal reminder. This is showing you exactly, oh, the grave. Okay, he was looking for a grave. That grave was a reminder of the man that once existed and the man who appreciated nature. So, and he had died. Symbolic is something that signifies something else, right? So it has to be C. Hope this is clear. Now I'll take you over to the paradox thing. I remember very well there was a line that said, the narrative structure attempts to immortalize him, resolves this paradox. I'll just take you back once, we'll check. Achha. Immortalize him tha na? Achha, haan, ye history to myth yahan tha. Narrative structure attempts to immortalize him, and his example as Darsu passes from history to myth. Abhi hamara jo ek option tha, usme Arseniev passes from history to myth. That is what we call distortion. Okay. Now, within the film, he does die, narrative structure, immortalize, and Darsu passes from history into myth, okay. Do line upar pad lijiye. It safeguards his example, inoculates it from contamination and protects it from contact with the industrialized urban world. Time is organized by the narrative into a series of barriers, enclosed Darsu, vacuum chamber, protecting him, social, okay. Done? Other Kurosawa heroes, okay. Cool? Now, I'll take you back to the question. Abhi isme na tension nahi lene ka hai. You read that relevant portion. Now just go down to the options and eliminate. Kuch to bachega. By structuring the narrative around Arseniev's memories, the film allows Darsu's influence to persist beyond his physical absence. And remember, he's asking you for paradox ka reason. Mar gaya hai. Still, he's being immortalized. Why and how? So by structuring the narrative around his memories, the film allows his influence to persist. Ye acha lag raha hai mujhe. The use of non-linear time frames enables Kurosawa to isolate Darsu from the forward march of modern history. Ye bhi to wahi keh raha hai. Isolate kar diya usko from the forward march. So it kind of separates him from that. I'll keep this. These two are good. Kurosawa treats Dersu's life not as a linear biography but as a symbolic echo that resists historical closure. Symbolic echo resists historical closure. He treats his life not as this. Nobody asked him to treat it as a linear biography, but as a symbolic echo. This is not the paradox. The paradox is मर गया फिर भी क्यों immortalized है. Okay. Dersu is shown to die, but his ethical code and natural wisdom are depicted as enduring elements of a vanishing world. Shown to die, correct. Ethical code and natural wisdom was correct. But ethical code, people don't remember him because of that. The passage said that. It was not ethical code, depicted as enduring elements of a vanishing world. No, even if his ethical code was there, that was his own. It did not depict enduring elements, persistent elements of a vanishing world. वो दुनिया खत्म हो गई, नई दुनिया आ रही है. Ethical code उसका अपना था, अगर होगा भी तो. So this is out. A and B, I'm looking for a paradox. Go back to the question. The question says, although Dersu dies, narrative structure immortalizes him. जिंदा करके रखा उसको. How and why? और ये बोल रहा है the narrative structure. What does the narrative structure do? How does it how is this done? So which of the following would resolve the paradox? Give us a reason for that. So between A and B, now we are going to look for the reason. We are going to look for the difference. By structuring the narrative around his memories, the film allows Dersu's influence to persist beyond his physical absence. Structuring the narrative किस तरीके से इसकी memories पे. कौन सा आदमी? The hunter, not the hunter, the Russian explorer. Film allows Dersu's influence to persist. Absence है फिर भी चल रहा है. The use of non-linear time frames, non-linear, straight नहीं, one after the other नहीं. Abhi, then flashback, then again coming back. That is called non-linear according to the film. Non-linear time frames enables Kurosawa to isolate Dersu from the forward march of modern history. So, he is able to immortalize him because of this. This is giving you a reason. Okay, how would you resolve this paradox? This is giving you a reason that the director uses these non-linear time frames to isolate Dersu from the forward march. Otherwise, he would have had to show it in a linear way. पहले था जिंदा, फिर ये हुआ, फिर मर गया, फिर trees fell किया गया, फिर urbanization हुआ. So he doesn't use linear time frames. He uses non-linear. अभी ये फिर flashback. Passage में एक दो बार दिखाया है, right? And this enables him to isolate Dersu from the forward march. So between these two, this has better words because this connects more with the narrative, with the film. ये बोला है around Arsenie's memories. Okay. Now, one Gyan point here. This question too would have taken you a lot of time. So this is not a low-hanging fruit. इसको छोड़ना बनता है एग्जाम में अगर ऐसा है तो. How will you realize it? Within 30 seconds you have to know. You have to feel यार ये तो बहुत confusing है, clear नहीं हो पा रहा कौन सा है. So between कौन से बचे थे इसमें? Between B and A and B. Yeah, between A and B. You will be confused and you will stay confused. You cannot remove this. You cannot make everything perfect for every passage. रहेगा ऐसा. It's just your smartness. You have to identify ये question छोड़ देने का है, भागो यहाँ से. So this slightly difficult. बाकी दोनों जो मैंने दिखाए, they were pretty good. This one was though like very good. Symbolizes the erasure. आराम से eliminate होकर के निकला. Number 3 was awesome. Natural world sets him apart. Okay, rare qualities ये तो दे रखा है, rephrasing है बस. Let's do this. Not true. So one false. By now we know a lot of things from the film carry from the passage. So let's just read and see first. The film begins with Arseniy searching for a grave in a now urbanized area where once a forest stood. Okay. Begins with Arseniy searching for a grave. ये तो वही है ना. This is the main idea. now urbanized, new settlement, he's looking for a grave, the grave is not there, pehle forest tha, the trees have been felled and they are like, lying there in piles. Yahi cheez bola hai isne. So this though looks true to me. Okay. The shifting time frames in the film serve to emphasize the emotional depth of Darsu's bond with nature. Shifting time frames, क्या है ये देखना पड़ेगा. The narrative structure attempts to shield Darsu's legacy from the impact of historical and social changes. Narrative structure, Darsu's legacy, impact of historical and social changes. This again connects with the main idea. Let's check 4. Darsu is introduced through the memories of Arsenev rather than as a direct participant. Yes, this is so true. Because ये last para में जा करके, when we read the soldiers wala thing, na, Arsenev remembered this and soldiers and they were making fun of him, and now today he's looking for his grave, right? So memories of Arsenev, correct, and direct participant to nahi hai pure picture mein, we know that, so this is true. So I'm left with B and C. Is it solvable? Can I do it? Yes, we can. Let's look for the difference. Shifting time frames serve to emphasize the emotional depth of Darsu's bond with nature. The narrative structure attempts to shield Darsu's legacy from the impact of historical and social changes. तो एक narrative structure है, एक shifting time frames है. Okay, I'll take you back. Now, first we'll go to this para. In addition, a third time frame, okay, into two major sections. Okay, third time frame, each of the temporal frames, not shifting. Temporal is what? Temporal is connected with time, right? Has a different focus, and by shifting them, Kurosawa is able to describe the encroachment of settlements upon the wilderness and the consequent erosion of Darsu's way of life. As the film opens, the erosion has already begun. And then he gives us this pura, ye, aisa. Title informs, okay. So each of the temporal frames has a different focus, and by shifting them, that doesn't mean these are shifting frames. Got it? So this is attractive word trap taken from here and put there. Temporal frames are like, it's like you take one area, you take one era, and then you kind of, go back to another one. अभी हमने एक question किया जिसमें वो था कि हाँ, back and forth वाला है, flashbacks हैं उसमें. So this temporal frame goes against your option. I'll take you back to this. Now, the shifting time frames in the film serve to emphasize the emotional depth of Darsu's bond with nature. No, the temporal frames are there that show Darsu's life and show your forest का जो भी हो रहा है, urbanization हो रहा है and all. So this looks wrong to me. Let me check C. Okay. The narrative structure attempts to shield Darsu's legacy from the impact of historical and social changes. Narrative structure को भी आप देख लो जा करके. Okay, here, formal organization, all right, circular, all right, Kurosawa, the multiple time frames maintain a separation between Darsu and the contemporary world. Okay, so this maintain a separation bola hai. Go back further to discover who he was, but this narrative structure has yet another implication. It safeguards Darsu's example, inoculates it, prevents it from contamination with history, and protects it from contact with the industrialized. So, even if you have an iota of doubt about option B, all that vanishes because this we found in the passage. So, this is definitely true. So, this has to be your answer. Many and many times it so happens that your answer is left with you only because of POE. You may be having doubts about it, but then that is the one that is left. So, C is eliminated because it's true, pakka true, diya hua hai, rephrasing hai thodi bahut, and B is your answer. Hope it's clear, guys, and I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed this passage. So, I'm going to meet you again with another passage. थोड़ा और ढूंढूंगी, research करूंगी, कुछ और अच्छा सा लेके आऊंगी, right? Something new, some twist, some tweak. Keep following me, keep following this series. This is definitely going to help you, especially people who are still struggling with their way in RCs. ओके, चलती हूँ, दुआओं में याद रखना। बाय बाय गाइस।
आई होप यू एंजॉयड दिस वीडियो। अब मैं आपको एक शॉकिंग फैक्ट बताता हूँ। ये डेटा जो आपकी स्क्रीन पे शो कर रहा है कि iQuanta यूट्यूब चैनल के 60% व्यूअर्स चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं करते। सब्सक्राइब ना करने का रीजन ये हो सकता है कि यार एनीवे जो ब्राउज फीड है उस पर तो वीडियो आ ही जाता है, बट सब्सक्राइब क्यों करना चाहिए वो मैं आपको बता देता हूँ। iQuanta यूट्यूब चैनल का अगर आप प्लेलिस्ट सेक्शन देखोगे, यहाँ पे आपको बहुत सारी यूजफुल प्लेलिस्ट मिलेंगी। अगर आपका अरिथमेटिक वीक है तो ये आप अरिथमेटिक प्लेलिस्ट यहाँ पे चेकआउट कर सकते हो। ज्योमेट्री वीक है तो ज्योमेट्री प्लेलिस्ट चेकआउट कर सकते हो। एल्जेब्रा में प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है तो एल्जेब्रा प्लेलिस्ट। एंड नॉट जस्ट दिस, अभी करंटली जो प्लेलिस्ट चल रहा है वो बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट 200 क्वेश्चंस का एंड RC 100 वाला प्लेलिस्ट जो शबाना मैम का है। ये सारे जो प्लेलिस्ट के वीडियोस होते हैं इन पे उतने ज्यादा व्यूज नहीं होते, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली जो पढ़ने वाली जनता है वो बहुत कम है। बट अगर आप उनमें से एक हो तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लो। रेगुलर बेस पे इन प्लेलिस्ट का वीडियो आता रहता है, आपकी फीड में आपको सबसे पहले दिखेगा। एंड नॉट जस्ट दिस, अब जो आने वाला टाइम है उसमें आपका कैट का फॉर्म आएगा, देन डिफरेंट एग्जाम्स के फॉर्म आएंगे, अलग अलग तरीके के नोटिफिकेशन आएंगे। जैसे ही कोई अपडेट कैट 25 से रिलेटेड आता है, सबसे पहले वो अपडेट आपको iQuanta यूट्यूब चैनल पे मिलने वाला है। तो डोंट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब आवर चैनल।